So, a bit of an update for you guys. I was saying things have been a bit quiet. Well, typically I decided to go away with a bit of a lad's break for a few days, and as soon as I got on the plane, my phone started binging away with messages on cars. ASX is very popular. We've got a viewing on that tonight. It's my first day back in, so I had to put a lot of people off. I've got my ASX viewing tonight. The Cougar, which is down getting an alternator fitted, has been blowing the phone up. Got loads of people wanting a Cougar. Got someone very keen to see that tomorrow morning. We've got a subscriber on the Rio there that we bought off another subscriber. That's just come back from Moores with advisory free MOT. Let's have a quick look at what it cost us to get that done. So yeah, that was quite a big one. It needed 4 tyres. Now, if I remember correctly, one was a fail, I think the other 4 were advised or something like that. So we just had to stick 4 tyres on. So we did 4 tyres, we did an engine, oil and filters, renewed the rear brake discs and pads, so new tyres all round, new rear discs and pads, renewed a wiper blade, renewed an offside and a near side drive shaft seal. So replaced the seals on the drive shaft, and where the leak, where presumably they were worried it'd leak some off, they put some back in again. All the parts costs there. Total bill £671. Ouch. I'm going to be able to claim back some VAT, £105. So I am still looking at £546 because the MOT is no VAT on the MOT. £546, is that right? Something like that on that one. So that wasn't the cheapest one to get through. It will make someone a really good car that now, because I've also paid out for the paint to be done, didn't I? I had a ding on the rear quarter, and Malcolm, our star painter, painted it up for me. I think it was that rear quarter had a ding on it. So I've paid for paint, and I've paid for that. I suspect with the VAT and so forth, I'll be a good £1,000 or more into prep on a 2014 Rio, which obviously they aren't worth a fortune, but they are good little sellers, and they don't tend to, famous last words, cause issues in terms of further warranty claims afterwards. But that said, as I went to pick it up, the driver's remote stopped working. As in the remote works, all the keys lock, but the driver's one doesn't, so we need to get that looked at. But I do need to give it a jolly good clean now. It's been sitting away while I've been away down at the garage. Now when I got down there, tell me what you think, but I got a cheeky little bit of a bill, I think, as well. I had, let me just find it for you, a Kia Rio. So we sold a Kia Rio, silver Kia Rio. And if you remember, the lady, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if I spoke about it at all. A silver Kia Rio I sold to a lady very cheaply. It wasn't a young lady, it wasn't a massively expensive car, and she came back saying she'd noticed that the one of the covers for the recline on the seat was missing. Wanted to make that a warranty claim, and I can't remember if I discussed it with you or not, but she did say the handbrake wasn't working great, and I thought the Moores guys had done brakes on that car, I don't remember. But I tested it on here, parked it up and gave it a push, and I could move it. So I said, yeah, get it down while I was away and get the boys to look at the handbrake. Well, I came back and picked up the bill, and I've had a bill for not only servicing the handbrake, but lubricating the gear selector and renewing the gearbox oil, because she said gear changes were stiff. Now, that's something she hadn't said to me at all. Now, luckily, the Moores guys didn't charge me a lot. They've only charged me £85 in total, so there's no huge amount to whinge about. But it is a little cheeky adding additional things on without discussing them with the dealer if you're dropping the car off to the garage. I mean, the garage should actually ring you and double check that you've approved that work as well, to be fair, so it's not all one-sided, but should discuss it with the dealer before you start asking them to do additional work. And the last bill was for a TPMS sensor for the Ford Focus I sent out in one of the last videos. The chap knows the Moores guys and was happy for me to go away on holiday and go down and get them to replace the TPMS sensor there. It was just one sensor that needed replacing. But there you go, guys. That was nearly another, £800, I think it was £800 or so that I just paid out just coming back off holiday, which is fantastic. So, so I better get to work and get some cars sold. Hopefully the ASX goes left. Now, I did let most of the adverts expire on the cars while I was on holiday. I didn't see any point paying for adverts while I wasn't here. Some of them were getting up to the point of expiring just before I left. Some were expiring while I left. I just left them all to expire, so I need to now relist them again. Now there's a bit more interest about. I'll have to double check what pricing is like on some of these cars. The Mazda, I'm surprised that hasn't had a bit more interest. That's a cracking little car. But there does seem to be that generally overall their interest levels are picking up again, which is good, because normally when the sun comes out in Devon, the car selling slows, to be honest. People have got better things to be doing. And local people are running their businesses, because we're obviously, a lot of the economy is based to holiday makers, so they're too busy to faff around going and getting cars. Holiday makers aren't buying cars, so it just tends to quieten down a little bit, I find, when the sun comes out. So it's a good sign that there has been a bit of an increase in inquiries. Craig the valeter was waiting when I got here and said he had time to do one car for me, so I had him clean off the Skoda Yeti, which I think I got in the last video as well, which I've done nothing with. Obviously got it just before I went on holiday, so I'll go round, hit those rails with some Altrol, because they need to be a bit darker, give it a little bit of a polish, get some photos done for that. It seems to come out really nicely. Craig always does do a nice job. He's locked it. I know he gave the leathers a bit of a treatment, cleaned all the mats, obviously did all the carpets, did all the door shuts, did the engine bay. So it's plenty presentable enough for the photos to be done. I'd sometimes go around and do a little bit more here and there myself, because I'm a finicky little bugger. But no, overall, seems really good. If you remember, this is full service history, including Haldex and DSG gearbox services. So round this way, you see them every 5 minutes. Same with the ASXs. You see these and ASXs everywhere. So hopefully it should sell quickly. Just a reminder, this is the stuff to use if you've got any plastics, faded paint, anything like that, faded front door on your house. Then what it's going to do to this railing, it's all washed out and nasty. If somehow you missed this from my previous videos, it's the first time watching my videos, it's called Altrol. I use it on absolutely everything. It is bloody brilliant. It's an oil feed that will feed your plastics and make them look absolutely fantastic, bring all the colour back in them. I have on other videos also cheekily used it on faded paint, and you'll find it improves that quite a lot as well. It was designed for UPVC doors to get the colour back into those and window frames, but it works absolutely brilliantly on car plastics and just brings it up beautiful. But this has already been done by somebody with another cleaner, by my valeter. But you see, compared to his black to black product, it brings it up far, far better, gives it a beautiful shine. So that's the Altrol Polytrol. I'll put a link in the video description down below, and they actually have given me a discount code for Chops Garage viewers because I use it so much on the channel. Anyway, let's crack on, get this finished off and get some photos done. So we're into another day. The ASX did sell. It's gone down to Moore's for its oil filter, air filter, whatever else, fuel filter service. It's gone down to the boys. The customer came back for a second test drive, said he was happy with it. In the meantime, somebody else messaged me on it, said they wanted to come and drive it that afternoon. So I said to the first chap, you want to come in before them, because I can't hold it unless there's a deposit on it. Anyway, so he came test drive it, was happy with it. So that's all good, that's gone down. That was a quick seller, that one. That was very, very popular. The white Cougar I had is very popular as well, but it's down with the guys at Motorworks, trying to sort out why you need to put your foot on the brake and the clutch to start it. So I can't let anyone view until that's sorted. Unfortunately, they've just changed the clutch switch, and they're still getting a problem, so they're not quite sure what the issue is. So that's going to take a little bit more research. So in the meantime, I need to get this Kia Rio that we got back from MOT sorted. A subscriber would like to see this for his daughter on a walk around video, but I don't want to show it on video really till I've done the proper valet. Now this one unfortunately was a smoker's car, and it does smell quite, well, it did smell quite strongly of smoke. I improved it a lot, but I want to see if I can really get it all out, because you can put lots of stuff on that will sort of mask the smell and it'll just come back later on. So as you can see, what I've done is I've taken the seats out, obviously disconnected the battery first, left it a few minutes before I took the seats out. I've got a ton of fabric cleaner here, which I've put as a very heavy dilution into some water and into my spray bottle. I sprayed the seats all over, and they're drying out in the sun now. Sprayed them all over and then took the drill brush on them, drill brushed them, all the dirt off them, and then literally just jet washed them out here because the sun's so strong today. It's drying them out really quickly, and they obviously look a lot cleaner and they smell fabric conditioner. So that's what we're looking for. We've got a couple of little burn holes in the seat, can't do much about that really, Not that it would be worth doing on a car this age. There are ways of doing it, but you would never pay to have it done. Now, next thing I want to do is tackle the headliner. And you might think, well, you never see the headliner really, but it will be holding a lot of that smoke smell. So we'll use the same thing, drill brush, squirty stuff, and get that done, wipe down, and then we'll hit the rear seats, which I can't get out because I need to get into the boot to get them out. And obviously, I don't want to put the power back on with the seats disconnected. I just need to check online. I'm sure you'll be able to tell me in the comments down below. Is it safe to turn the car back on again or reconnect the battery with the connector disconnected? Because what you don't want to do is set the airbags off. So I might do the seats in situ, and obviously they're not going to have had the worst of any smoke, and I can give them a good clean. But I'll do that after I've done the headliner, otherwise I'll be sitting on a wet seat when I do it. And then when we move the whole car out in the sun, I can just roll it back, put something to stop the wheels, just roll it back, and let the sun dry out. Luckily, like I say, we've got blazing sunshine, but it does mean it's a very sweaty job. Like I say, somebody else has suggested me, I'll put a couple of those air bombs through the air conditioning thing. They do. They clean the air conditioning system out lovely, and they make the car smell nice for a few days, and then it comes back again. So I would rather do the job properly. So that's all done, and I'm very sweaty, but look how much cleaner it is. That's fantastic now. Did the back seats as well. Smell is already diminishing greatly. I'm putting an antibacterial on after I've used the washing detergent. So now I'm going to clean the carpets out, which is obviously a lot easier with the seats out. Hoover them all out and then give them a scrub without putting too much water in, because once it gets into the foam underneath, it's really hard to get out. So we'll do a very light one on that. Use the scrubber and then give it a spray with antibacterial, and bung the seats in, which are drying nicely outside. I'd say that's a pretty clean set of carpets and seats. Sorry, the light's bad, isn't it? Or I've got smudges on the camera. So now clean all the plastics down, get the seats back in again. Now don't forget, by the time this video is going out, this fantastic Mercedes CL 500 will be about to be won by somebody. This is going to be your last chance to go and buy tickets. Just £2 a ticket for our Mercedes CL 500, which is just a fantastic bit of retro cool. It's done 95,000 miles. We have done a full service on it, a new MOT, which is advisory free, I think, if I remember correctly. Just how mad is this car? Look at all the buttons and the wood. 5 litre V8. I'm just going to move it over the other side. Incredible condition all the way around for the age of the car for a 53 plate. And don't forget, a proportion of the proceeds go to Ability FC, which is the Barnstable-based football club for those with disability and additional needs. We're helping support them so they can get kit and all kinds of stuff like that. I'll try and put a link to them in the video description down below. If you just want to get involved, help support the raffle, there's the alternative prize of £4,000 cash. I say, or you get the car with a year's road tax included, although this is the lower road tax because it's the older one. It's something like £370, not the horrendous £600 or £700 later ones. It's just a really cool car. They don't make them like this anymore. 70 odd grand brand new this thing was. Got absolutely electric everything. Anyway, we'll get it moved over the other side. Like I say, I'll put a link to the raffle in the video description down below. It is just a couple of pounds per ticket, but you get involved now. There is a special offer running to the end of the raffle now, but get in quick. So the Rio is out in the sunshine drying out. I better disconnect that rear light, better I, so we don't end up with a flat battery. And seats are coming out nicely. They're drying out quite nicely actually. So we've got a video done for our subscriber. We'll get that over to him in a bit, and I'll let you know if that goes ahead or not. So like I say, we'll let that dry out in the sunshine. Move on to the next thing. Right, heads up, I might be quiet for a little bit because as you can see, the Firebird repaint has started. So Brooke has been in with me today because she's now officially finished school, but she has her prom coming up in a month's time, I think it is, which sounds a long time, but I've got to fit this in between everything else. So recording will probably be at a minimum. Yeah, she's come in. I've said if you want it repainted for your prom, you've got to come in and help me. So she's been sanding all day, bless her, all day long. We've got a lot of bubbling paint where we need to get to bare metal and do some filling and some sanding. This is all being done with 240 at the moment. So we've got to go through now and find all the bits. You can see they've got some bits of filler already on the go. Go through, put filler on it everywhere, sand that back, fill again, sand it. You've got to let it settle. I'm going to let it settle for a couple of days of filler now. Then we've got to sand the whole thing up to probably about, I'd say 400 grit, and then filler primer it with a couple of coats of filler primer, let that sit for a bit, guide coat it, sand that down, fill wherever we need with dolphin glaze, probably the thin filler at that point. That will then all be sanded, reprimed again, and then it will be colour and lacquer. The final two stages, colour and lacquer, are the quite quick ones, to be honest. They don't take a lot of time. It's just all the prep in advance. First time I've painted an entire car, so this will be interesting to see, and I've got to do it in here, so I've got to move the cars out, create a little booth in here with some ventilation on the go, and yeah, get the whole thing primed. The whole thing painted. So, like I say, it might be quiet for a bit, but then you should be able to see the end result fairly soon, I would hope. Even if it all goes wrong at the end of the day, I'll have spent some serious quality time with my girl before she gets to a point where she doesn't want to talk to her old man anymore. And I might teach her a skill that becomes valuable later in life. You never know. Our subscriber has bought the Rio. We've just spoken on the phone. He's put down deposit on it. Just got to go and get the door lock fixed. That decided to poo itself at the very last second for some unknown reason. Yeah, it's smelling really, really nice inside. I will put an aircon bomb through this now to clear out the air conditioning system, kill bacteria in that as well. But I have told our subscriber that even though this video is coming out later, I've told him that it was a smoker's car, and that what I've done is strip the seats out and clean the headliner and all that kind of stuff. And I'm confident that it smells nice now. This is going to be for his daughter, so I think she'll be very happy. It's very nice condition overall. Quite a lot of graft on this one, but sometimes it's the way it is.